Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and this is an unplanned quick live stream reaction to James Gunn returning to film so early, and that did not take long, and no surprise at all. It is to the DC universe. Now, Deadline is reporting right now. Let me get this article up real quick for you before you all get in the chat. Again, this is going to be a short one. This was not planned today. And here we go. Deadline. I believe this is an exclusive. James Gunn boards Suicide Squad 2 to write and possibly direct. Exclusive. James Gunn has been hired by Warner Brothers and DC to write and direct a possibly direct Suicide Squad 2. It's his first job he's taken since he parted ways with Disney, which let him go from a lucrative Guardians of the Galaxy franchise in July in the wake of old controversial tweets that had resurfaced. And we all know that story, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all they have to say about it. Now, I'm pretty damn sure he's going to go into direct. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Here's what I think. I am a firm believer in second chances. Now, this is not excusing his tweets were abhorrent. And while I also think as when it comes to humor, nothing is off limits, but you know what? There's a limit to it. It's the amount of tweets he made pertaining to well, those very dark subjects. I'm not even going to say them here so I don't get demonetized, but you guys all know what I'm talking about. And yeah, you know, and listen, this is a guy who came from trauma, so this isn't a surprise. He probably lived a bit of a debaucherous life before. Now, I'm not saying at all that he was involved in any of the stuff he was tweeting about, and there has been zero evidence of that. He just made a long line of tasteless jokes. Disney had every right to fire him. I do not argue with that at all. If he was my employee and doing that affiliated with my company, I'd have fired his ass too. So there it is there. But you know, after time has gone on, and this has turned into a political thing, and I'm not here to talk about any of that shit. I'm talking about the guy as a creator and what he did on Twitter. And I have said before that I feel Disney had every right to fire him, and they should have fired him. Does he deserve a second chance? He has shown remorse in the past. I haven't seen any lately. He's pretty wisely shut up and kind of gotten off Twitter. Is this a risk for DC and Warner? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this stigma is going to stick with him no matter what. But my personal opinion is there is no evidence that guy is out there doing that kind of shit. If there was, I'd be all fuck him. No, I'll never watch anything DC or anything Warner Brothers again. But there isn't. Okay. There just flat out isn't. Now, I'm not a reporter. I don't know all the ins and outs of that. So if people come to me with new information, my opinion might change. But right now, this is what happens. This is what happens in comics. So a lot of the normies or people who don't read comics are experiencing the Marvel versus DC war that has been raging for an era now. They always love to pluck each other's talent. They are a constant rival. They're a friendly rival, and it's actually really good for the comic book industry to have both Marvel and DC kind of at each other's throats, because it creates, you know, competition breeds innovation. Unfortunately, we haven't had any of that in the comic book industry, but we are getting that in the movies. And you want to talk about the right guy for the job for Suicide Squad. Oh my God, could you imagine what Suicide Squad 1 would have been like if James Gunn was at the helm? He's perfect for that. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some people who are going to be just pissed because they're done with James Gunn, especially, you know what, that picture, the birthday party picture that he posted, yeah, To Catch a Predator thing. I don't know about that. Let me put it this way. That's not humor I'm going to partake in. Now, you know, I've said some pretty horrible things on this podcast. Just go back and listen. Yeah, I've made Lou Gehrig's disease jokes. I'm not proud of them, but at the time I thought it was funny. Okay. And sometimes that's what we do. We all say stupid shit. And I think this is nothing more than somebody saying some stupid shit, somebody getting a little too proud of himself on Twitter, looking at all those likes he's getting for all those jokes. And he's oh, I'm going to double down. I'm going to triple down and try to look darker than my friends and edgier than my friends. This is probably something that belonged on private message for Facebook or something like that, not out there on Twitter. But these people are in Hollywood for a reason. They like attention. Okay. And they want attention in all things they do. So that's where I think his mistake was made. Does he deserve to be forgiven and have it get another job? Absolutely. Unless any charges were brought against him. Yes, he deserves to work. So, but forget what I think. This is short. I want to get to the chat. And we finally got some people in here. Guys, gals, aliens. What do you think? Let's get in here real quick. Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I was not supposed to do a live stream today, but consider this a video, an interactive video that's on a hard time limit. We gotta end in 10 minutes. JP says James Gunn is helming Guardians again. No, he is helming Suicide Squad 2, and he's writing it. He's not directing it, but I suspect before the year is over, he will be directing it. James Gunn is back. And this isn't some rag like comicbook.com or the Hollywood Reporter. This is Deadline. Deadline is a solid entertainment source. Again, I will show it to you guys all here if you came in a little late. Plus, I'm out of focus anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yes, it is James Gunn board Suicide Squad 2 to write and possibly direct. And there's nothing much to the article other than they have the exclusives. So let me get back to the chat here real quick. And the people in Hollywood, those people are in Hollywood for a reason. They want attention, and they're a little crazy. A little KSS. Yes, they are all artists, and I have lived almost my entire life surrounded by artists. My wife is an artist. I myself am an artist. My friends are artists. Yeah, we're all a little crazy. Yeah, that's okay. I don't think anybody would deny that, and that's okay. There's levels to it though, and there's also, I don't know, the stuff he tweeted. I would never tweeted that, even in my darkest days in my 20s. I'd have never tweeted that shit. But I'd have gotten close, probably. I'd have, I've said some stupid shit. I've said some crazy, stupid shit. I probably said some today. I got to ask Mrs. Neurotic for that, though. Hollywood must be really lacking for good writers. Mike Cedar, that is the wisest statement of the day. Thank you. It is. I actually, oh shit, sorry guys. I actually believe that the talent pool has been watered down quite a bit. So yeah, I don't know. It is so easy to walk away from a helicopter crash. Just cuts and bruises, no broken necks or fractured body parts. That can't happen. Okay, I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but well, you mean like in Suicide Squad 1 when they crash the helicopter? You're right. People die in those things. I'd bet $1 that Feig was forced to fire Gunn. He's not that stupid to fire that kind of talent. Yes, he was. Actually, it was Alan Horn who made the decision. I wouldn't be surprised because Kevin Feige brought him on, and they were buds. So yeah, I don't know on that one. I don't think it was an easy decision at all, to be honest with you. I don't think it was an easy decision. I think, I mean, we've gone over that ad infinitum, to be honest with you. And it's water under the bridge and old news and all that stuff. This, though, is a big deal. I think DC, this is just off the top of my head, I think DC hired him as a writer first to run it at the flagpole to see what people thought. And they'll let that one lie for a little while. They'll get a little reaction. They'll get some YouTubers like me and, Doomcock and Midnight's Edge get out there, and Mecca will say some stuff. And also Twitter will probably blow up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll see what happens. If the dust clears and nobody totally freaks out about it, then they'll announce him as director. That is just my speculation. It could be completely wrong though. But it's good to see everybody in the chat. JP prediction: both Suicide Squad 2 and Guardians 3 will suck now. You know, this harkens back to Bryan Singer leaving X-Men 2. And what we got was a shitty Superman movie and a shitty X-Men sequel. So you're right. There is precedence for this, JP. But James Gunn is more talented than Bryan Singer. That's the only problem. He's a lot more talented than Bryan Singer. DC gets James Gunn from Marvel because it works so well when they got Joss Whedon. That is a great point. Oh, that is a great point. KSSS. That is funny as hell. That was a good one. I like that. Call me Mr. Tibbs. Okay, Mr. Tibbs. Sup, Gary? Nice seeing you every day for at least for a bit. Working and lurking, says Morks. Nice. Man, I just had a stream set up with a countdown for a while. Don't worry, Random. I'll be done before you started. This is going to be a short one. What up, Cameron? Ed Brewer. $1 billion movie forgives all. It kind of does. It kind of does, Ed. But the court of public opinion does not. I have not been as hardcore on him as others have. And they have every right to be. It's totally up to them. Listen, I have done things in my life, nothing like he insinuated, by the way. I'm a grateful recovering drug addict, alcoholic, and had a rough adolescence, we'll just say. And I have been given second and third chances, and eventually I made the best of them, was grateful to have them. And I'm a firm believer in giving people second and third chances, except for a couple things. And, one of those couple things is what he was joking about on Twitter. Those are one of the unforgivable curses, we'll just say. But that and maybe murder. Other than that, I think I love a good redemption story. I really do. But that's a touchy subject, man. It's such a touchy subject, and as it should be. There's I don't know. I mean, I'm a firm believer in free speech. You can say what you want, but I'm a firm believer you have the freedom to shut the hell up too. That's part of it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn will be perfect. He could get Dave Bautista to play someone. That's going to happen, Mako. Okay, all bullshit aside, it's almost impossible to do, but like all the baggage aside, yes, I think he would be good for that film. God knows, I think he would probably have a little more creative freedom than he would at Marvel. But he worked well. I mean, he worked really well in that whole Marvel team thing. So, also he's got secrets. I'm sure he signed NDAs, but he could always like accidentally say something, Suicide Squad, no more helicopter accidents. Natasha, yeah, that was a bit ridiculous. Although, you know what? I mean, there was three good things. There was good moments in that movie. The movie had potential, but it's actually shit. So, Guardians 3 should hire. Oh, I totally fucking agree with this. KSSS, man, he's bringing it today. Guardians 3 should hire Rockne S. O'Bannon. If he doesn't know Guardians, just tell him, write a Farscape movie and we'll change the names later. Exactly. Because Guardians is pretty much Farscape. In a good way. Like, it's okay. Another Suicide Squad movie. Ugh, says Jay Weeks. Jay Weeks, exactly, says JP. Lou Gehrig jokes too soon? LL, yeah. If I explained what the joke was, it wouldn't be funny, but you got to dig back into Jessica Jones if you really want to. Our Jessica Jones recap. It was one of my better jokes. And I think I almost timed myself out on my own podcast. Uh, yes, Mako agrees. James Gunn is a more talented band than Bryan Singer. Why couldn't these off-color jokes come from J.J. Abrams instead instead of Gunn? Says Mike. That's great. That is great. Oh man, I kept on sharing the wrong screen. That sucks for this video. Oh well. Uh, People are sheep, Gary. They change their minds quickly. Trust me, I've seen so many politicians and what they just say. They just lay low for a while, and people forgive them. People, I don't know if they forgive; they just forget. Mako. Um, I don't. I mean, like, I don't watch. I don't go to see anything by Woody Allen. I'm not a big fan of his. And let's get back here. We'll read a few more chats here. What is up, Willie Woodward? David Lynch should direct Suicide Squad. Says 6 scale combat. Yeah, I mean, he just said things. He didn't do anything illegal. But I mean, he said things that were stupid that should get you fired. Okay. I mean, he absolutely should have been fired for what he did. He shouldn't have been hired. And Disney knew. So I guess a good argument can be made that why did you fire him for stuff you knew? But the obvious answer is, okay, we know this happens. Hopefully it doesn't pop up, but if it pops up, we're firing your ass. Two good things about Suicide Squad is Margot Robbie and the end credits. That's good. You guys are on fire today. I remember a tweet from James Gunn about how he burnt $20 bills in front of a waiter. It was at that point I replied to his tweet with the rude word or two. Ian Batchelor, he did that. Yeah. 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 I'm not surprised. Suicide by gun. Ooh, that was good, Cormoran. I'm picking up what you're putting down there. The only reason I don't think Gunn should get another chance is because he supported Roseanne getting fired. Otherwise, I wouldn't really care. It says 1903TX. I agree with that. Roseanne said something extremely stupid too and should have been fired. But now a precedent has been set. She should be rehired at some point. Absolutely. And you know what? She probably will be. I don't know if she can get the rights back to her show, but I guess that show was doing well. But yes, if you rehire James Gunn, you got to rehire Roseanne. You do. Mel Gibson came back. He did. Mel Gibson was in the thralls of alcoholism and said some really stupid shit. And he got shunned for a decade and had to kiss so much ass to get back. I felt bad for him. Yeah, he said some stupid shit, but the treatment he got, but people give Roman Polanski fucking standing ovations and still go see Woody Allen films, boggles my fucking mind. So, yeah, not defending what Mel Gibson said, but, having to kiss multiple rings and asses and, crawl back for a decade. The one good thing I saw is George Miller, his friend, did not bail out on him. And I thought that was solid. That was solid. Mel Gibson, he's had a lot of problems, but you got Mako. You remember back in the 80s and 90s, he was considered the nicest guy in Hollywood. Period. Everybody loved Mel Gibson. I'd see interviews of people just gushing about him, going, he's the nicest man on the set. He treats everybody with respect. So, James Gunn is a troll and a bit crazy. He has a weird sense of humor. Yes, I would say that's a nice way to put it, Mako. He did make a movie in which Ellen Page, and I won't read that word, Rainn Wilson, Roseanne was high. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times when people say stupid shit like that, they are, and it does cloud your judgment, folks. It absolutely does cloud your judgment. It's, you know what? On some of those pills, those pain pills that people take, it says it. It clouds your judgment. So typical DCU bullshit. No shit, Gary Roman is disgusting. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. I don't care if his victim has forgiven him. He has shown no remorse, and that asshole should be in jail for the rest of his life. There are people in jail for a lot less for the rest of their life due to the California 3 strikes law, and that asshole is running around. Sorry, I'm going off now. I don't like that guy at all. But James Gunn is back. James Gunn is back. Let's see how everybody feels about it now. I'm going to take off, let Random Starter stream. Everybody, you have a great day. We will be back later today with Man in the High Castle review. If you want to keep talking about this, hit me up in the DMs on Twitter. Let's talk about it there. I'll be out and about, but I'll have my Twitter up, and it's at Nerdrotics. Everybody, have a wonderful day. James Gunn is back, like it or not. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness.